Hello my dear students, welcome back to online class. Today we are going to discuss the third topic from your chapter changes around us. Today we are going to discuss mainly physical and chemical change. What are those, and we will come to know about these two changes, and also we will differentiate those changes. Okay, so first, substances and materials usually undergo two major types of change. One is physical change, next is chemical change. Okay, and we have already learned about reversible and irreversible. Now you can relate those reversible and irreversible changes with these two changes, physical change and chemical change. Okay, so let's start with physical. What is physical change? This represent a change not in the chemical identity but the physical form of a substance. When substance undergo a physical change, there is no formation of new substance, and more or less these changes can be reversed. That's why it is called as physical change. As for example, boiling of water, melting of ice represent reversible physical change, while growing of height in us is an irreversible physical change. Okay, so here in physical change you can see both reversible and irreversible changes. Here in reversible changes like boiling of water, melting of ice, okay, then freezing, these all process can be reversible physical change. But growing of height of any living beings, that is an example of an irreversible physical change. Okay, next, here you can see so many physical changes. Example, that is crushing a can, then melting an ice cube, boiling water, mixing sand with water, breaking glass, dissolving sugar in water, shredding paper. Shredding means tearing paper. Then chopped wood. Okay, chopping wood. Okay, next mixing green and red marble, and the last example of physical change, that is sublimation of dry ice. Sublimation means a specialized change of state when the solid substance keeps the liquid phase and moves directly into gas phase. So when solid substance is directly changed into gaseous phase, this process is known as sublimation. This occurs because the substance absorbs energy so quickly from the surrounding that melting never occurs. That's why direct solid to gas. So this is called the sublimation. Here, sublimation of dry ice or solid carbon dioxide sublimes. Okay, comes to chemical change. What is chemical change? That is different from physical change. This represents a change in the chemical identity of a substance. These are irreversible changes because the original substance get converted into a new substance that cannot be brought back. That's why. So in chemical change, we actually found a new substance and the previous one cannot be brought back. Okay, so this is totally different from physical change. So example, you have already read that irreversible changes such as cooking of food, then baking a cake, okay, cooking rice, burning of matchstick, burning paper. You have already read this in irreversible changes. So chemical changes always comes to some irreversible changes. Okay, so now we will see some example of these chemical changes. See, what are these? Here, iron dusting means dusting of iron, burning of wood, then metabolism. What is metabolism? Metabolism is actually a chemical reaction in the body cells that change food into energy. So whatever food we are intaking, that is converted into energy by some chemical reaction in our body cells by the process of metabolism. Okay, and another example such as cooking an egg, then baking a cake, that I have already described in previous class. Okay, then roasting banana. All examples are here given. You can conclude this. Okay, we will see what is the basic difference between physical and chemical change. I will show you how we can differentiate this physical and chemical change in some way. Let's see. Physical change, a change in matter which occurs without causing any change in the composition of the matter is known as physical change. Here no change in the composition of matter, okay, but in chemical change, a change in chemical composition of the matter. So a new change is found in case of chemical change, but in physical change no such change is found. Okay, so this is the basic definition and differences between these two changes, physical and chemical. Okay, next, usually physical changes are reversible in nature. Mainly they are reversible, while chemical changes are often irreversible. But you have seen already that some physical changes are irreversible, such as growing height. Okay, so that's why physical changes are reversible in nature, and some of these are irreversible. But chemical changes are often irreversible, always irreversible. Okay, no new products are formed when an object undergoes physical change. So what happened when an object undergoes physical change? So no new products are formed. But in case of chemical changes often lead to formation of new products. Okay, and next difference, what is more tough, this is no need to remember this point, but I am just telling you all. These changes have no impact on molecular composition of the substance, means the substance made up of which chemical composition, these changes have no such impact on the molecular composition of that substance. But chemical changes have a direct impact on the chemical bonds and molecular composition of the substance. The substance, which is the content of substance, that is actually influenced by chemical changes, but it is not influenced by physical changes. That you have to remember. Next, a few changes occur when cooling or heating is done in case of physical change. But in chemical change, what happened? These changes involves absorption or release of energy. Okay, so today up to this, and if you have any problem, ask me in the e-portal. Okay students, thank you.